Mr. Trudeau, you are a phony and you are a fraud and you do not deserve to govern this country.
Of course, we don't entirely know your plan because you haven't released your costed platform yet.
You do not need to choose between Mr. Delay and Mr. Deny. There is another option.
Well, it was hardly a debate for the ages, but the first English language debate, who was the winner? Who were the losers? Who got a knockout punch? Anthony Furey is here with me, and I think, in my opinion, the biggest loser last night was Canadians.
Well, you know, that's a pretty good point, Adrienne, because were we well served by the debate topics, for instance, foreign affairs, didn't talk about that too much, didn't talk about rule of law, accountability, things that the incumbent prime minister not so good on. Did we get a lot of time from all of these different candidates for them to really tell us their vision of Canada? So, yeah, a lot of people saying, what did I just watch?
I think there was a lot of people that tuned out in the first, probably after the first 15, maybe 20 minutes. Usually Canadians engage in the leaders' debate because that's their opportunity to hear from the leader of their choosing or someone that they're considering voting for. But I don't think that they would have gotten anything out of last night's format, in particular because there was not enough time, there was not enough policy discussed, and they all just kept talking over each other. But just stepping back from the negative side of the debate format, what about the performance, though, in terms of Jagmeet Singh? How did he come across?
I think he came across really well, and in many respects, I mean, if you're a diehard watcher of politics, if you're in the sort of center-left progressive sphere, you're familiar with him. But for regular Canadians, this was really his hello, nice to meet you for people who are just sort of tuning into the debate now. And I think they met a guy who they thought, nice guy, fairly relatable, down to earth, trustworthy. He certainly came across as authentic. So I think Jagmeet Singh probably scored pretty high on the personal effects there.
And I think that that's important because he still is unknown, relatively unknown to Canadians. Let's talk about the leader of the Conservative Party for a moment, Andrew Scheer. Had just as much to lose as to gain in the debate as Justin Trudeau, the Liberal leader, because there was a lot of fire thrown at Andrew Scheer. It's almost as if they're treating him as the current prime minister,
Right.
which was an interesting dynamic because Justin Trudeau, because of the debate format, kind of fell back into the shadows, popped up now and then. But Andrew Scheer managed to land a couple of punches. Have a look at this.
Justin Trudeau only pretends to stand up for Canada. He's very good at pretending things. He can't even remember how many times he put blackface on, because the fact of the matter is he's always wearing a mask. He puts on a reconciliation mask and then fires the Attorney General, the first one of Indigenous background. He puts on a feminist mask and then fires 2 strong female MPs for not going along with his corruption. He puts on a middle-class mask and then raises taxes on middle-class Canadians.
This is, one of the things that people are talking about, because usually the political parties are looking for the day after. What memes will go viral? What clip will go viral? What can they use to push out to their supporters and say, we won the debate? What moment was it for you for Justin Trudeau?
Well, I think there was the moment when Justin Trudeau really tried to stand up and turn things around on LavScam, because that's what's been dogging him for months. Really what he did was fall back to the old talking points. He said that Globe and Mail story was false.
That the allegations in the Globe and Mail were false. You said Jody Wilson-Raybould never came to you. You said you never put pressure on her. We now know that those were all lies.
What? Really? You're saying that again? He said, I'm always going to stand up for jobs. Yeah. So if you're amenable to that argument, as I guess a few people out there are, they would be pleased to see Justin Trudeau rallying the troops on that, although I don't know how many swing voters he would have won over.
The others, of course, there's the Bloc, the People's Party, and the Greens. I think, it was good that and obvious that Elizabeth May, who's been the leader of her party for the longest on that stage, she's clearly well-versed in her areas, but she has a tendency, she can make a point, but she has a tendency just to go on and on and on. And then all you ever saw Justin Trudeau do was talk over her.
Yeah, no, absolutely. She can certainly ramble, I guess we can call it that. She can reach for the most extreme examples pretty early. So that actually made Justin Trudeau look a bit more moderate in terms of the things he talks about, climate and so forth, which is, well, perhaps arguably good for him. Elizabeth May taking up, as she always does, to your point, she's been around a long time, a lot of the oxygen in the room. So we had that from her, and she probably looked the most the most theatrical of everyone. Maybe that benefited all of them. Maxime Bernier didn't look as wild as a lot of people said he was. And Andrew Scheer, I mean, this is a guy, the attacks on him from Trudeau had said he's a mean and nasty, this, that, and the other. Andrew Scheer looked like a pretty easygoing, middle-of-the-road guy, much more of a prime minister in waiting. And those people who heard that fear-mongering from Trudeau and the Liberal proxies and maybe took it as gospel now watched and said, oh, I guess he's not that scary reptilian kitten eater after all.
In terms of just sort of the situation in which Andrew Scheer found himself in, one of the first times a Conservative leader had someone to the right of them on the debate stage.
Right.
And so that was another interesting dynamic. Did Maxime Bernier do any damage to Andrew Scheer?
Yeah, good point. I mean, yes and no. If you like the things Maxime Bernier was saying, he wanted to reduce immigration a bit more than Andrew Scheer and deal with climate less than the other leaders, okay, you're going to find that appealing. But I will say Maxime Bernier, if you wanted this sort of populist radical, he wasn't that. He was almost more of a generic politician at the debate. So what was on offer? If anything, it was probably a plus for Andrew Scheer to say, yeah, you want the conservative alternative to Justin Trudeau, I'm your guy.
All right, well, and then of course there was the leader of the Bloc Québécois. Never ceases to amaze me why a federal leader, a royal leader who wants to separate and tear apart our country is allowed to be on a debate stage is an extraordinary thing. But nonetheless, this sets up well for him, I think, on Thursday for the English language debate, because there's a lot of seats, 80 seats in the province of Quebec. And the issue of Bill 21 came up over and over and over again. Let's tee that up then, looking at the Thursday French debate.
Well, one of the things that was so interesting was Justin Trudeau had the nerve to say to Jagmeet Singh to his face just a couple weeks after the blackface controversy that he, Justin Trudeau, was the true champion of diversity, and Jagmeet Singh, because of what he was saying about Bill 21, he wasn't. He was failing to deliver on that. Wowzers. So I think Jagmeet Singh, he has to really hit back, and his opportunity in the Quebec debate is to show that, no, he's the true progressive voice.
Many more days left in this campaign. We'll see if the debate moves any numbers. Log on to Facebook and Twitter. Let us know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.